Someone offers you $100 per hour to watch any movie on repeat. Which movie do you choose? I worked at Blockbuster and had to listen to direct TV advertisements on a 15-minute loop for 8 hours at $7.50 hour. Trust me, for $100 hour, I'll watch anything. I can still hear it after 20 years. Wow. I can really watch up to 348 channels of premium content for only $24.99 a month. Yeah. That's barely the cost of a tank of gas. How do I sign up? Just ask the poor man whose life force we have been slowly draining at the counter. Yup. As a cook I was stuck by a Muzak speaker. Our cheapskate manager had a demo tape. It ran 15 minutes and had 18 songs. Stuck cooking, listening to the same partial songs, for hours. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King extended cut. The longest possible film is probably the default meta choice. I cannot believe I had to scroll this far to find this. It's $100 per hour, a single showing of the extended cut could just about cover my rent contribution. If I did 2 viewings once a month while still maintaining my day job, I could potentially decimate my boyfriend's student debt within a year while still indulging in my admittedly expensive hobby of smelling very interesting and sometimes quite nice. Edit, I'm not an English major Mkai. Primer. I doubt I'd have it figured out after 20 hours, so that's 2 grams right there. As soon as I finished watching that I spent like an hour reading flowcharts and synopsis on what happened. I'm still confused. Relevant XKCD. Something in Spanish with subtitles so I can become bilingual and understand my Spanish-speaking patients without a translator and get paid for the engaging activity. That reminds me of the Zach Galifianakis quote, I want to learn Spanish so that I can watch the Spanish channel and figure out what I've been laughing at for all these years. Big brain moves over here. Probably Hot Fuzz so I can just keep spotting details each time. I was going to say Shaun of the Dead for the same reason. No luck watching the movies then? When I worked at Walmart in electronics, that was basically my job. Watch Finding Nemo for 8 hours a day on loop, or whatever comparable kids movie had recently come out, and I got a hell of a lot less than $100/H for it. We had Megamind on repeat with one of the Samsung displays, I think. Tangled and then eventually Wreck-It Ralph. They might be good movies, but it really does make you angry stuck listening to them 8 hours a day. Lol, I worked at a computer store in the 90s and my boss wanted to play Aladdin on repeat for the new game. I tell you, I loved that movie before that job, never watched it again until just a couple months ago. One I hated, because no matter what movie it is I'll end up hating it anyway. For $100 an hour I'll watch any stupid movie. I wouldn't want to watch scary movies though. When I was 14, I watched Titanic 3 times in a day. Easy money. I read this at first as you watching Titanic 3, edit, well, my first silver or better. Thanks, I guess. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl 4 times each day during summer break. 10 years later I can still say every single line from the movie. Everyone seems to be interpreting this as being like a job, where you're doing it for tens of hours a week as your primary form of income. But what if you just do it every now and then for supplemental income? Something like the car needs a new timing belt but we're a little short. Guess I'm watching Dark Knight a few times this weekend. How could you go to work for whatever your normal hourly rate is knowing that you could be in bed watching Shrek 2 with a bowl of buttery popcorn and earning $100 an hour? I mean, for the sake of the post we would have to treat it as a Monday to Friday 8 to 5 job. Otherwise, if the only requirement is for the movie to be playing, I would choose whichever dullest silent film I could find and sleep the whole time. Groundhog Day. A loop within a loop, I think I'd go crazy. I've, in the past, tried to convince my wife that we should have our friends over for a Groundhog Day marathon, but I was outvoted 1-1. $100 per hour? Literally any movie. I don't care. I would prefer something that keeps me engaged, like 7 or something like that, but for $100 per hour I don't care what movie it is. Don't care? Be careful or you'll get stuck with Barbie, Fairytopia. I would prefer something that keeps me engaged, yup, but like ideally a long educational movie. There's gotta be a bunch of several hour-long movies where learning every word could be beneficial to my life. Might as well make use of the time. Or my idea would be to choose the longest movie ever made, which is apparently one called Logistics. It's 857 hours/35 days long. Could watch 3 hours a day Monday to Friday and you'll get through it once. That's $85,000 to watch the whole thing. You'll have fresh content daily, and then watching from scratch won't be the end of the world because it's a year since you've seen the start. Imagine if it's bingeable too. I'd get like 3 viewings done in a year, 8 hours a day, and get $250,000 from it. Would need to watch other movies 1,000 times for the same amount, which would drive me crazy. I'd then also pay someone $20/hour to watch it with me. If you're both interested in the subject, then it won't even be that bad. They could also make lunch and do all that kind of stuff so I don't interrupt my viewing to get maximum amount of hours in. To me this is easily the best answer in the thread. Even if the movie is a bit bad, it doesn't matter because the alternative is watching a good movie 1,000+ times, which after just 50 viewings will seem like the worst thing ever made, let alone 1,000 viewings. I've put too much thought into this. The Fifth Element. At least you got lunch. Kakord bin I ain't GGG get no fi yeah. For $100/hour? Any movie, are you kidding? That's not enough money to get me to watch Cats. Edit, the number of times the word butthole has showed up in my replies is too damn high. So here's me reacting to seeing Taylor Swift's CGI cat butthole. Any Reddit question involving doing something for money is almost always written by a teenager that has zero concept of money. I'd sit through any movie for minimum wage, let alone $100/hour. Such a dumb fucking question. Oh brother, where art thou, or The Big Lebowski? That's just like, your opinion man. Those movies are bona fide. We've had one Lord of the Rings, yes, but what about second Lord of the Rings? The Princess Bride. You've made one of the classic blunders. As you wish. Monsters University, we watch it no fewer than 5x a day at our toddler's insistence, so daddy may as well get paid for it. I am amazed I had to scroll so far to find a parent saying this. I was thinking, anything my youngest wants, we will have to watch it multiple times per day anyway, so might as well get paid. He's autistic and fixates on one movie every few months, and it has to be on somewhere in the house or he gets anxious. We had Toy Story, the first one, for the whole summer, autumn was Minans, winter is SpongeBob movie. Where do I get my cash? Smile. Anything by Edgar Wright, preferably Scott Pilgrim or Hot Fuzz. The amount of detail in these movies makes sure I don't get bored until like the 30th rewatch. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.